work for them, and it was working actually because they guarantee some victories on Switch stage, you know. But for now the playoffs have this huge change once again, not like having King from XP to the jungler, but a gold lane here in this in this time in this point of the tournament. That is a very huge change for DreamMax. But now once again playing very well, King is able to guarantee a victory for DreamMax. Everything now is even 1-on-1, and now we are here for the draft for the third game.
The shadows that plague this world.
Well, I'm kind of looking at this and wondering, for Black Sentence, where we go from here. It's pretty overwhelming on the side of DreamMax. Both games kind of fell into the same type of territory where Black Sentence was kind of on their back foot, and as much as I am relieved to see how much they're handling and able to handle as a team, I feel like the fact that the last two games have been pretty dominant for the other team to be able to get to those high grounds, even though they're doing a decent job of protecting and trying to clear for trying to get that clear out against their base. That's two opportunities that now that the enemy has been able to find a backdoor on your team. So it just kind of speaks to what we're doing here at the beginning of the game. Are we getting good opens for our team, or are we kind of ignoring the opening game and trying to get some mid game damage, some mid game power spikes that we're not setting up for in the early game? Because so far it feels like a DreamMax have been in a pretty decent control for most of the early of the last two games.
Yeah, it does look like DreamMax is doing a wonderful job at the start. Black Sentence does seem to have a hard time watching the map, it seems, if they were going to be backdoored twice in that sense. So that's something that they probably need to work on in this one. But I see that they have been doing well. They do a really great job in the defense when they try to defend their team, even against all those super minions coming and all that. They did a wonderful job making sure that DreamMax had a harder time to kind of close it out. But they kind of bit themselves in the foot. They're choosing all that mage damage, or that magic damage, that in that last round. Hopefully they learn. It looks like they learned their lesson, unless they're choosing, because now they're able to pick up the physical damage here.
Yeah, you're right. And I believe that for Black Sentence, they realize they have the power and they have the quality for like playing as even for DreamMax. But there's a funny thing that I'm watching here from Black Sentence, that somehow, and I think that somehow they think at some point of the game and say, after losing the high ground towers, say, okay guys, now the game starts for us. You know, like they start like heading back in the game, they start like taking the actions. But at this time, Private, that could be just a little bit late for doing that.
That is exactly what I wanted to bring up too. It feels like the harder the game they shine under pressure. The problem is that the amount of pressure that is needed is you're on your back foot. All your high grounds are gone. Now they're kicking it into over gear, and it's like we shouldn't even be at this point yet. We need to kick that in the over gear at the beginning of this game, through the mid, through all of these objectives. That's when we need to start really hunkering and lasering down into a lot of these games. Pretty big here. Very interesting drafts coming out, because I feel like we were full of counters. Phobius came out so that we didn't see the Valentina come out from the side of a Black Sentence. Then we had the Terizla out here to kind of fend off a possible Fredrin pickup from the side of DreamMax. They're going to end up going with the Harley and the Zushin, which is going to be interesting here because we don't really have a way to close in on the Zushin just yet.
Yeah, having them have Harley and Zushin on the same team I feel like it will be a problem for Black Sentence here, because Harley is a lot with that in and out, and Zushin has that massive control that's very helpful for the team. So they kind of gave them some freebies here, but I do want to see what Black Sentence can do to kind of answer this and find what will they choose to kind of get that Zushin.
Yeah, and what I saw here now, like after DreamMax's first pick, like for Vias, Harley, and Zushin. And I was thinking about like, okay, for this pressure for the objective, especially talking about like for XP lane, it's a very, very strong because you're seeing like Zushin, Harley, and Vias. If they can choose Khalid here, that could be very, very, very bad for Black Sentence. But they have this like, they read the situation, so they banned the Khalid here because that could be very, very bad for them with this high pressure for DreamMax, especially from mid to the river and the XP lane to guarantee the objective. So that was a clever ban here for Black Sentence, especially for Hilda, guarantee one more banning for roaming. When it comes to DreamMax here, Lilia and Leo Mord, okay, one mid and one jungler here coming out like not playing at this time. So let's see what is Black Sentence about to pick, assuming, ooh, Selena.
So he's going to be very interesting here. And this does give them a decent amount of map pressure. You can use a lot of Selena's bombs to kind of get vision around certain areas, so the ganking is going to be so easy. It's a lot of mobility. There's a lot of mobility on DreamMax's side for you to be able to land an Abyssal Arrow if you're a Selena, and that's going to be very hard depending on the angles that you're choosing. I feel like it's one of those picks where you're like, I am hopeful that you just play this most disgusting Selena. You do a great job on this Selena to be able to kind of offset the mobility that you're gonna have that can basically dodge a lot of what you can throw out. Here, more mobility coming out in the form of a Cho and Yu Sun Shin.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they chose the Selena to kind of answer to the Zushin, so like, you know, kind of surprise her from the bushes, to kind of freeze her, to kind of get her out of the picture, kind of be sneaky with it. But they have that Cho to kind of like make sure that does not happen now. So that's very interesting. Guinevere will be a good choice too as well for the Zushin.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense here. But now checking out like Black Sentence composition so far, we can have a very interesting execution here coming out from Papa Dog with the penalty zone, for example, that gives times for Aurora with the jumping and the Requiem Violet, for example. Even if the Sky hits the Abyssal Arrow here, that could be very interesting. And the Sky's condition here, like trying to burst and finish King with Harley, for example, or Shaikichi, that could be very interesting for a Black Sentence. But of course, it all depends with that situation if the skill shots hit. Like we're talking about like Arrow, Abyssal Arrow. We're talking about the initiation coming from Urwin, for example. That gives time and opportunity for Papa Dog and Guinevere head in the game here, my friend Private.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to the third game of our first series of the night. It's a best of 5, and both teams are tied up at 1-1 apiece. It's a DreamMax taking on Black Sentence.
Yeah, so let's go, everybody, here. Okay, always reminding you guys that you are in the live, you're in the broadcast. Send the like, share the live, share the broadcast, call your friends, call everyone to watch this first playoffs stage day here, coming out from MCT, AMER South. Let's go, Private.
I'm not sure what happened to King at the beginning here, but it looked like Black Sentence had already finished their minion by the time King got to his first buff here. So he's going to be a little behind when it comes to some of these rotations into some of these side lanes to be able to kind of mount a little bit of pressure. So that's very interesting coming out from DreamMax there, because it was very interesting. Usually at the start of the screen, you see both junglers in their jungle getting the minion, but this time you saw Black Sentence getting their jungler in the jungle getting their minion, and you saw King running his way from the base. I'm like, uh-oh. somebody late for the date here as we continue on. A little bit of pressure in the mid lane, but no deaths overall.
Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom. Oh, here comes level 4.
At the bottom, yeah. He is going to try to find himself a kill onto Papa Dog, and does. Just as I was talking about him being late, he says, I'm going to make up for that. I'm going to go immediately to the bottom lane and find myself a kill. A great first blood there for DreamMax, and a great way for King to make up some of that lost time.
That is your answer, Private. He had everything planned out in his mind. Guarantee. Oh, now here comes the turtle. Both teams are Blink.
Yeah, Blink actually gets a jump on the 2 members. Shikiche comes in there with that ultimate, able to spray down damage as Goo puts on the finishing touches onto Irwin. That's going to be a free turtle for DreamMax as they push back the rest of Black Sentence.
Yeah. Oh. Like for a moment, I thought that his Absol arrow would be like, okay. But now with the first turtle here guaranteed by a DreamMax. Oh my goodness, look at the speed here for the DreamMax players heading out for the top side. The next target could be Jack Crew, but oh, Way of the Dragon.
Oh yeah, the combination of the Way of the Dragon plus the deadly magic and Shikiche, they're able to lift him up there. Yeah, Black Sands are like, whoa, boys, give us a second. Oh, we need to breathe. There might be some lag issues on one of the sides. You do get that sometimes here, but man, what an impressive opening there for DreamMax.
Don't worry, guys.
Yes, that was.
Sorry.
That was an impressive opening. No. It was an impressive opening. Like you were saying, King had a slow start there, but he made up for it, getting that first kill and the, 1 kill and an assist, right? So he was able to kind of regain the momentum and kind of get going with that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was well noticed by Private when we saw like, okay, King still in the down side of the jungle, like making a clear path of the jungle. But as I was seeing like the upper side, the only like point, the green point that I was about to see was the lizard, you know? And I was like thinking myself, I was wondering, okay, why only the lizard is still open in the upper side of the jungle for King? And now, as by the way, by the time this King was like clearing the path for in the downside here, like reaching the level 3, and I was like tracking him, like, okay, maybe now level 4, trying to surprise Terizla. So I did sense this this idea for coming up from King here. So he neutralizing so far Terizla, Papa Dog here, an experienced player for a Black Sentence. That works really well. He guaranteed the kill, guaranteed the first turtle, 2 more kills for DreamMax now heading for the top side.
The more and more I see from King, the more the question pops into my head. I'm like, what were you doing in the XP lane? Like, why did we have you in the XP lane here? Because it just takes, for me personally, when I look at a situation like this, I'm behind. I need to get this. I need to get this buff. I need to go ahead and get to my other buff so I can try to catch up. But King just has the notion. He's looking at the map. He understands I can get this buff. I've got an advantage down here at the bottom. I can get a clear cut down the bottom so I can get to the enemy Terizla, be able to get the damage onto him and find a kill as well. That's just the knowledge and the IQ it takes to be able to interrupt your rotation to get that early start into the side lane and find a kill and the advantage for your team.
I wonder if it was strategic on the side of DreamMax. You know what I mean? Like Swiss stage is not like, it wasn't like a big factor in it. The playoffs is what matters, right? Maybe they were hiding their gem, you know, for the playoffs and be like, all right, we're gonna bring out the big guns now, and you guys are not gonna expect it.
Yeah, that can make sense to hear like what is happening so far. But oops. Okay, both are dancing.
Okay, I think I like the respect from both of the teams there. Nobody was he's just signaling. He's like, all right, refs, we got a little bit of a recall here. Let's let him know that there's a problem here. He's not moving. He's he's not able to do anything here at the mid lane. So at least a good sportsmanship from both of the teams here as we get this figured out. They do want to make sure that this is fair for both of these teams, though. So we are going to go ahead and make sure, and that's why these pauses come out, though. So thank you guys so much for bearing with us.
Yes, we maybe run into a little snag, but you can snag yourself some diamonds right now. Make sure you're in the chat right there, and make sure that you're active and engaging, because you'll get a chance at getting some of these diamond drops that we have. And I know some people that have already claimed these, and they're very excited about it.
Yeah, all right, guys. So thank you so much for giving me diamonds to change my name from Sneakers Fisher for Rico Nunes. The next step is the star member for this month. Please, guys, the diamonds.
Yeah, the more that you guys are able to go ahead and talk and chat, the more you guys are able to participate, the more you up your chances for being able to get a lot of these diamond drops, which is actually really important. All right, or you guys have like a really big advantage because we're still growing here. So we've got a modest community that does view us, but that does mean that there's a bigger chance for you guys to be able to win those diamonds as well when you guys stick with us.
Yes, get in on those diamonds for sure. They are the perfect way for you to get those skins that you want without having to pay a cent of your own money at first. So make sure you just be in that chat and chat with us here.
Yeah, when it comes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was just gonna say I feel like a cat sometimes. I'm just looking at this the beautiful things that we have in our hair, the little tangle that keeps on going back and forth there. Let the viewers see these I don't even know what you call them in your hair.
They're my little hair trinkets. I don't know. I call them hair trinkets, but I got these from Japan. So.
Okay. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Okay.
Oh,
But when it comes up to like diamonds, that remind me for a skin, for example. So I'm in love with Minato's and Itachi's skin, you know, and I don't have the diamonds enough to I can play the roulette to get the skins. But they are really beautiful.
Only in Mobile Legends can you go into a match where you're gonna have a Minato or a Sasuke on there fighting potentially a SpongeBob and a Patrick on the other team as well, which and I feel like maybe we have a little bit of an attachment, because I feel like there's sometimes we see these fights and we see the camera just kind of linger on just Patrick laying on the ground.
I know, the cameraman really loves to, you know, see dead Patrick on the ground. Patrick is a fun character to see, though. Like, I love the way that he's designed right there, and the way he has like mini Patricks running around with him. It's super cute.
The whole fight is coming up and suddenly. Yeah,
Right,
but that's all a part of the game. It's all part of everything funny here, my friends.
Yeah, it's just all the action that you get here and the funness that you get with a Mobile Legends game. It's not always about the seriousness of the esports, but we do have to get back to that as both of these teams are fighting for their survival in the playoffs. Speaking of which, Papa Dog in a little bit of trouble, has to use his penalty zone defensively, but puts him into enemy territory. He's getting blasted down, and that is going to be another kill for Shikiche.
Yeah, Shikichi here with 2 kills now with the Zun Shin. This is the 3rd game we were talking about global bans. Right now they're waiting. I believe that they were waiting for the right time here to pick this hero. Okay, they have to think about the composition, but now here comes the genius one for Harley. But now both teams are headed for the top side.
Ooh, yeah, you saw there Aurora is gonna have to try to get away. Blink looking for try to get in there, does not go with it. I thought you saw him chasing in there. I'm like, ooh, is he gonna be able to kind of get out there? And another abyssal arrow comes out. And unfortunately, right now, I mean, it's pretty early, the 4-minute mark here. We just have not been able to make a great use of Sky on this Selena. Not enough stuns. And I feel like I love this combo that comes out from, that could come out from Black Sense. chance, so much CC, so much initiation and opportunities for a potential wombo combo, but we're just not able to find the angles just yet. You see that Goo does get that Abyssal Arrow struck onto him, but not exactly the target that you want, and that's going to be an easy cleanup of this turtle for DreamMax. Oh, speaking of which, Papa Dog, another defensive penalty zone, and he gets taken down again.
Yeah, another penalty zone here to try to escape, but with no success. Another kill for DreamMax. And as you well said here, Private, Black Sentence has a very high win!
Yeesh. And King finds himself another kill. 6-1 right now. DreamMax seem to have found their groove back here, backed by some great plays by King and Shaikitse.
Yeah, they found the sauce here for this third game so far, but now heading for the tower in the bottom lane, already taken down for a DreamMax. Almost 6 minutes here. The goal lead heading for 4K, or no, 3K now, good in math that I am, for a DreamMax so far. 6-1. I think that the target could be now the tower number 1 here in the mid lane, but both teams are now focusing on the minion waves.
Yeah, and look at the spread coming out from DreamMax as well too. You've got at the top lane King going ahead, putting the pressure up at that tower. You've got at the bottom Blink. Meanwhile, Black Sentence is forced to kind of turtle up and group very tight together for fear of them getting marked out that they have been thus far. Ooh, they're gonna go ahead and latch on to Irwin, who's gonna have that split out as well. It's not gonna be able to save him. Oh, just kidding. He is gonna be able to take out Goo as he latches on with that ultimate. Now putting a lot of pressure onto the mid lane. Blink goes in on that Jeet Kune Do, is not able to find a way of the dragon. A penalty zone with the flicker. Meanwhile, a great blazing duet onto the back line, but does not find a kill.
Now that is a penalty zone that we were talking about. A penalty zone for forward, aggressive one, guaranteed this advantage for a Black Sentence, but not so far, not so good, because now another turtle is on the river, and now DreamMax is heading for them.
Yeah, the problem here being the gold lead, just the outstanding early game that DreamMax had, even with that perfect setup, the perfect gank coming out from Black Sentence, they just are so far behind right now that they aren't able to finish the deal. And maybe a little early for Joel Crew too, probably doesn't have, oh yeah, you see now he gets his golden staff. I'm not sure if he has his Trinity build, speaking of which now we do have a kick come out as a Shaikitse again finding a kill. You were talking about before, like the wasted opportunity when Zushin was open. It's like, why don't we just give that to Shaikitse, because she's so amazing on a lot of these mages. You know she's gonna do something crazy on it, and here she's having such a great game. Blink going a little too far into enemy territory does get taken out, bringing us to an 8-3 game.
Yeah, well, it all seems here that it would be good for DreamMax. Blink, like, okay, now I think that maybe I can give Black Sentence just a little hope here, like guarantee a kill for them. Joel Crew here plus Aurora. Only games here. Oh, here comes Mountain Shockwave.
Yeah, they caught Shaikitse with that Abyssal Arrow, but unfortunately the rest of Black Sentence was not in a position to be able to capitalize on that just yet. Hopefully for Black Sentence, that's just a little bit of things to come here where they can start landing those and start opening up. Maybe Aurora can kind of get him in with a jump. Irwin as well. Oh, but it's not going to be Papa Dog as he gets taken out again. Shaikitse with 6-0-1. Somebody stop her.
Yeah, somebody stop Shaikitse so far. 6 kills to Zunshin here. Yeah, I think that, I mean, we know that she is a very, very rocky player here. She's a very good one, especially by playing with the heroes in the meta. That could be better for a DreamMax. As the items here so far, Sky Pierce, that makes total sense for Shaikitse because she is on fire with Zushin so far. Like, I wonder how many stacks with the Sky Pierce is Shaikitse so far right now.
That's got to be a pretty decent amount there. But the Black Set's going to go ahead very early, starting on this Lord. Is that a mistake? Aurora still able to pick it up, but DreamMax now trying to close the distance to make them pay for that Lord. Chasing him down, Papa Dog in trouble at the bottom there as Sky gets taken out by King. You lose 2, but you get a little bit of breathing room, I want to say, with the Lord. Just kidding, as the rest of DreamMax push through the mid lane. You'd think that they were the ones that were able to get this Lord. Oh, look at the damage from the side.
Jokru almost taking down here, but I could not say that it was that would be a worthy sacrifice for Black Sentence because they lost 2 players to get the Lord. But I think that it could be, yeah, that is worthy actually, because I think that they only lost the first tower here in the mid lane. For me, that could be worse for Black Sentence. But now the Lord here like are gonna be useless unless the Black Sentence is heading for them. That is what happening here, my friend Private.
Yeah, you saw that the Holy Crystal has been picked up for King, so he's going to have a lot of that burst damage. Irwin in trouble now, getting latched onto a Shy Kiche again, finding a kill. I think that brings them to 7 as well. Aurora in trouble, gets taken out by Zeus, and now the Blazing Duet not enough to save them from a complete team wipe.
Team wipeout here for DreamMax with a very beautiful flank from King. The Lord is still alive in the top side here, but now he was melted. But another fight for DreamMax. 16 kills so far. 11 minutes and 27 seconds in this third game. What a huge dominance. What a huge advantage coming from the Dragon Boy so far.
Oh man, and Irwin goes down to Zeus as well. 17-3 game, 10-0-4 for Shy Kiche here as well. Papa Dog on the front line. He's just had they've been locking onto him very clinically here as well. He is sitting at 0-6-1, Irwin 1-7-0. And that's usually the story too when it comes to these type of offensive, just obliterating games. It's always going to be those melee heroes that suffer the worst on all of these teams. And oh man, comes in, I think he got 2 attacks out there, and Aurora all the way down to half health as well. Right now, Black Sentence trying to turtle up, but I'm wondering what can they do to try to come back from this. They have to wait for a mistake, have to try to find some type of crack in the armor of DreamMax that they are just not showing yet.
Yeah, so here I think that, okay, once again, Black Sentence has to be resilient, has to be patient here to wait some like fast step. Oops, goo.
Yeah, oh man, this is gonna be it. They do have the Winter Crown comes out, but Shaikiche again from the back line, able to find the damage. A double for Shaikiche. She's on a roll, continuing to chase them down. But triple for Shaikiche again, her second of the game. Looking for a quadruple there for a Maniac for Shaikiche. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to get that. No, definitely not gonna be able to get that Savage for her. But DreamMax on a roll. Now starting to push in. It is just Joel Crew alone against the whole of a DreamMax who are looking to take down this core. Unfortunately, no minions.
After this last team fight, Shaikichi, what are you doing there? Oh my goodness. Okay, that is worth it here because still King guarantee the kill. Papa Dog, the penalty's on. Okay.
Goo in a little bit of trouble here. Does get a little bit of a split there. He's going to be taken down and eaten up by the rest of Black Sentence here. Joel Crew finding the kill there. And DreamMax, they take 2 L's here. 2 deaths now. And is this going to be enough of an opportunity for Black Sentence to get onto this Lord? You can still see up at the top, King looking for an angle. He's going to try to split push, I think. Or no, he's going to come in from the side now. And taking out this Lord Black Sentence, looking for a little bit of a fight here. You can see on the side a big split up here from Blink, the Shaikiche, and Zeus as well. Lord taken down to about 20% health left. You can see looking for an angle. King comes in, is gonna find some damage there. Is that gonna be enough? Papa Dog finds a kill onto Blink. Shaikiche finds a kill onto Erwin. Aurora able to find the kill before he goes down, but I don't think that's gonna be able to save Black Sentence from this push.
2 players down here for Black Sentence, and now here comes the DreamMax trying to finish this game.
Yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and put the pressure onto these high ground towers. No more high ground towers. It's just the core, naked and alone, afraid as the rest of DreamMax putting on the pressure. Lord is out. Is it gonna be enough? Can they defend and hold the line?
No, not again.
The DreamMax? And they do, chasing down the rest of them. Black Sentence live to fight another day.
What happens to DreamMax here? Such a struggling thing to try to finish the game so far. Okay, once again, they have the high ground for Black Sentence. No high ground, actually. All super minion waves coming from everywhere. But now the Lord heading on the top side. Once again, the Black Sentence trying to defend the Lord.
Ooh, they tried to latch on to Shaikiche, and she's going to be able to use that ultimate to get away. You see, Immortality has been picked up for Blink, and oh, he's actually able to get away. This is going to put Erwin in a little bit of a bad situation. Here's the rest of the team immediately collapses onto him. Deadly Magic, but Shaikiche says Deadly Magic is not going to get this kill. It's going to add on to mine, sitting at 17, 1, and 6 for DreamMax's Mage.
Yeah, she shout out like, kill for the carry, for me, please. 17 kills for Shaikiche so far. Once again, the DreamMax, they are heading and they are pushing the mini waves coming from every side, everywhere. I don't think that they are pushing the final in. Oops.
Yeah, big engagement comes out here. Way of the Dragon kick. Down goes Papa Dog. The rest of DreamMax looking for the minions. Blazing Duet onto the backside. It's not able to do enough damage just yet. 50%, 25, and that is going to be a victory for DreamMax.
Yes, 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 and for this match, I only have one song in my head that it comes. She's a maniac, maniac. That goes for Shaikiche getting the maniac in this game, Zena.
I know, Shaiki, Savage, Maniac, my God, they're doing an amazing job here with their new roster. That even with the slow start, King guaranteed a kill and an assist in the start. And then after that, Shaikiche was taking it all by the 9-minute mark, basically taking 6 kills, no deaths, and unstoppable. And then by the end, wow. She only died once, and that, well, yeah, from what I saw, but did she die more? But once, but then she was out of position at the tower and kind of took that home. She couldn't get out, but other than that, they did a wonderful job there.
I saw her. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. The entire team disengaged down one lane. Shaikiche went down and found the wall and was just like, oh, this is awkward, guys. Let's talk this over. Eventually took that one death though, but still, it doesn't take away from an amazing game, and especially for how well she was doing to get this early Sky Piercer onto her. Just absolutely laid waste to the rest of Black Sentence.
Yeah, that's what I call confidence here. Like leading the Sky Pierce as the first item here for Shaikiche with the 17 kills. I think there's gonna be 1,000 stacks here for this Sky Pierce for her so far in this game. 81% for King with Harley, 6-0 and 16 assists. I don't think, I don't know about you guys, but here I think that we have a doubt about like who's gonna be the MVP for this game. Because we have Shaikiche with the 17 kills, but we also have King with the 16 assists, you know?
They all did amazing. You look at all their scores here, they basically have so much assists, so much kills. They were on it. They were like, their synergy this match was on point.
Yes,
I want to say it's kind of it's kind of been laid to rest my questions, at least when it comes to the synergy of this team and the questions of whether this new roster and the shakeup would pay off for them. Like I said before, I don't know what King was doing in the XP lane, but he definitely has earned his spot here as the jungler for DreamMax. You'd never think he had played any other role for them. Just the dominance that he has been showing here. So yes, it's going to be kind of a little bit of a tie here between King and Shakitse when it comes to who's going to get the MVP, but that's just the whole team just operating just as this one unit and this one piece of machinery that they have been able to use to dominate Black Sentence here from these last few matches.
Zena, I agree with you. You are sure about like most of the times, like always, for example, you know. But there is only one place for the MVP, and we have to think about it. We have to talk about it. We have to discuss about that. You know, after a Maniac coming from Shaikichi, okay, she was on fire. She like was one of the pillars to guarantee the kill for a DreamMax. But not only for that, guys, we have to talk about like we have two rookies on this DreamMax roster. I think that it is time for the old ones, the veterans here, call the shots. You know, like King calling the shots, Shaikichi calling the shots, for example, here for like getting everyone on the same page here for DreamMax.
Yes, and the much-awaited MVP, of course, it is the Queen. Shaikichi here with 17-1-7 KDA, 69.3k total damage, and 696 golds per minute. She was a beast and a force to be reckoned with on that field.
I was about to be a little upset because I was going to be like, man, a base wall stole her MVP. If it was going to be Harley, that one death where she just went, oh God, I'm in the wrong area here. But yes, a great game played, and this has been, like I said, one of the players that has really stuck out to me for this team. Even when they're behind, I feel like Shaikichi has always been like kind of playing her own game when it comes to being able to keep her distance. Even when the team like gets absolutely overwhelmed, she's always in the right position, doing her best to get kills and not contributing